Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody is doing good in the new year and everybody is happy and getting along with everybody. And I want to sit here at the edge of the table, guys, because I think you guys have probably seen about enough of my face. So probably the platform of the table is probably better than looking at me. And I've got a lot of mess going on here in the shop that I still hadn't got cleaned up. I've got to get on that, guys. So, if you saw, I think it was last week, I put a YouTube short up and titled it, My Favorite Saw for Firewood. And most people that live around me and know me, they know I cut a lot of firewood. I sell a lot of firewood. And I have done it for, oh God, probably since I was in middle school and high school. Ever since I was old enough to drive myself. I mean, I had a saw in my hand doing side hustles and always had a side gig, guys. I mean, I've never just worked a 9 to 5 or a 7 to 3 or anything like that I just came home and did nothing. I was always dabbling into something. I mean, that was legal. Let's stress that. But, yeah, I had gotten so many questions about, well, what was my favorite saw? And like, what was it like my go-to? And in the video, you'll have to go check it out, but in that little short, I had said, you know, I don't have a favorite saw. And it's true to a point, and then to a point it's not true, because, and let me specify that, because I've had a lot of saws, I've bought a lot of saws, I've run a lot of saws of all brands, and from the old McCulloughs to the Johnson Reds to the Husqvarnas, Echoes, Steels. And I think everyone has their place. And I've had some really good feeling Husqvarnas in my hand. And there was a couple of models that I probably could have said, you know, that they're my favorite, or a go-to, or one that I like to run. And I never found that so much in the McCulloughs. Like I said, I have run them, and the only bad thing about it was, I don't know if it was me or the saw, but it just felt like it was just going to vibrate out of my hands, guys. I mean, that's like, if you could buck up a tree, or I'd buck up a tree with one, and I would use old bow saws, because around here in the South, we use a lot of bow saws, and they seem to have outlawed them now, but I really liked them. I know a lot of people got hurt with them and killed with them, but you know, you can get hurt or killed doing most anything, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you know, construction work or driving down the road going to work. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, you could get hurt or killed. And I think that's what happened to a lot of those guys when they were running those bow bars. They would just get into thick brush and stuff like that and just have accidents. And that's the reason they outlawed them. Personally, I wish they still made them today. But that's neither here nor there. But getting back on topic here, yeah, I mean, there is a little backstory to why I run what I run now. And I'll show you right here. And like I said, if you go and look on that YouTube short, you'll see this same saw. But this right here, hope you can see that. This is the 026 steel. And I have my reasons for running this particular saw. And it's not, I mean, I've had multiple of this same model, don't get me wrong. But this is sort of my go-to, especially for limbing and smaller trees that I'm bucking up. And, but yeah, that's a great little saw. Not the biggest, not the fastest. It's just right for me. And I think whatever you can be most productive with, I think is probably your favorite. Or at least that's the way I see it. And because like I said, guys, there are many saws that I've ran that I liked. Like, I forget the model on the old Johnson Red I used to run. It had a bow bar on it too, and that thing would cut. But as far as the Husqvarnas went, one of my favorites, and a lot of people didn't care for them too much, but it was the 272 XP. That was one of my favorite saws by Husqvarna. And of course the 372, I mean, that's a great saw too. But to get to the backstory, and the reason that just by what you see here, you're thinking, well, this is a steel guy. I mean, he's got steel bars that's always up here in my background, and my saw, the 026, but it's not always been like that. Because like I said, I've had the Husqvarnas and Johnson Reds. I even had some older Poulans. Not the newer ones, but the old school ones. They were really built, guys. And I'm sorry, my throat gets dry sometimes. But if I'm limbing up bigger stuff or bucking bigger trees, for my applications now, if I put the 026 down, this is what I go up to. This power head only here. This is the MS362C. This is a little bigger saw, probably equivalent to like the old school 036 Pro. And I like them because of the weight, guys. It's the power to weight. And to get to my backstory, and the reason that I lean in more on these steels is I damaged my rotor cuff probably back in 06, 07, and I found it, even though I liked some of the other saws, it was the weight that was getting me. And I still wanted to be as productive as I could, so I just sold most of everything else I had and just went with steel just for the power to weight, and it didn't hurt my shoulder as bad. And I've been very impressed, which I've always been impressed with steel and with the other brands too, because like I said, I mean, I guess this has become my go-to. Can I still run a good 272 XP? Yeah, but just not as long because it starts bothering my shoulder. So it goes back to whatever you can be most productive with. And if somebody else feels more productive on an old Poulan or McCullough, they can probably run circles around somebody that's just got a saw they're not used to or just don't want to run. They just don't care to. And so that's my little... I mean, I could go on and on about this, but yeah, I wanted to kind of clarify that. And that's the whole reason behind, going with the steel products, is because I've always liked the products, and it's just a lot easier on me. I mean, I'm not saying anybody else, but they just work better for me. Great products. Husqvarna's great products. It's just the weight difference that hurts me. So, yeah, we'll take a little more look into detail on these saws, which most of the minute details, all the dimensions and stuff like that, that's readily available online. But, yeah, we'll take a little more look at these. But for right now, we'll go ahead and cut this for today. And thank you for your time, for being here and supporting the channel. If you give us a thumbs up, we'd appreciate that. That helps out the channel and helps it get out there. But I don't know if I brought anything to light, but I just wanted to let people know this is a personal thing for me of why I use what I use. And it's nothing to downplay any other brand. But like I said, this is what works for Tim. I can't speak for the neighbor over across the road or whoever. But yeah. So yeah, we'll leave it at that right now, and we'll catch you a little bit later. Alright guys, so in the video I did say that I would mention some of the specs on the 026 and the 362C steel that I use. And like I said, I won't get into any minute details because you can find all of that online. But the power head only here on the 026 is 10.8 pounds or 4.9 kilograms. I think it comes standard with a 16 to 20 inch bar, run a 325 full chisel chain. I have talked to some people that said that they're running a 16 to 18 3/8 bar and chain, and they're not having problems with this. And this is a 48cc chainsaw. Moving over to the Stihl MS 362C, the power head right here as you see it is 12.3 pounds or 5.58 kilograms. It comes standard from my knowledge, and you can find all of this on Stihl USA website. And I'm not sponsored by Stihl or anything like this. This is just my go-to now. But no, Stihl's not paying me to do this video or anything like that. But yeah, the power head is 12.3 pounds, 5.58 kilograms. And it comes standard from my knowledge with a 3/8 full chisel chain. This is a 59cc saw. And if you see in the background, this is always in my background. That is a 25-inch bar, which I use on this 362, and it's a 3/8 full chisel chain. I mean, that's what I use. Pulls it no problem. So yeah. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And if you want to reach out to me by email, it's CarolinaOutdoors1, and that's the number 1 at gmail.com. So yeah, there you go, guys. I hope this has answered some questions about why I use what I use. And so it's neither right or wrong. This is just what works for me. So thank you guys for being here so much. We'll catch you on the next one.